Every day that I drive into town from our house in Hamilton, I pass an old green and white farmhouse that is sorely in need of a good paint job and some general home repair. Most often I pass it by and think nothing of it because honestly it's kind of an eyesore and rather sad looking. But last week, after we had a short bit of warmer weather and some sunshine, I was completely shocked to drive by one morning and find that same dilapidated old house surrounded by a yard full of purple and white crocus flowers. It was stunning. The whole yard was full of color and life, and it was truly breathtaking. The old, worn-down farmhouse seemed to come back to life again, with the beauty of new life springing up from the ground. It was a resurrection of sorts. The new life that old house took on once it was surrounded by the blooms of purple flowers reminds me of the Christian life and the season that we are now in, called Eastertide. This past Sunday, we celebrated the resurrection of Jesus on Easter with songs of joy and celebration, and it was a beautiful, hope-filled time of worship. And because the good news of Easter can hardly be contained into a single day of celebration, we are now in a whole season dedicated to joy and new life, called Eastertide, or the Great 50 Days. These 50 days, which lead us up to Pentecost, are a continued time of celebration and renewal, where we explore what it means to be made new or resurrected in our lives, in creation, and in our relationships with God and each other. This coming Sunday, we begin a new sermon series called All Things New, where we are going to explore what it looks like to live as people who live in the joy of the resurrection in our daily lives and in the world that we inhabit. We hope that you can join us for the next 6 weeks as we explore and reimagine what it means to live as people who have been restored and made new by our risen Lord and Savior. As we emerge from the gray and rainy days of spring here in Michigan, I want to offer us all a little challenge to keep our eyes and our ears open to where we see God making all things new in our lives, whether that's through the spring flowers budding up from the ground, or maybe it's a new work opportunity or a relationship that is blooming in your life, or a new place to serve or connect within the life of the church. Whatever it might be, notice the glimpses of life and new hope that do surround us in this season, because God is truly, always making all things new, even an old, dilapidated farmhouse. Have a lovely week, everyone. Grace and peace.